Alcohol, yes. Vietnam, the Vietnamese can drink some beer. But America, beer very expensive. Like here, you go on the street, get seafood, and you buy a beer for blah blah blah. What 15,000? Or even a Heineken is 25,000, 20,000, $1 maybe. In America, a Heineken like $7. Maybe five on happy hour. That's why a lot of people go to happy hour in America, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Cheap drinks, but it depends on the person. In America, a lot of people are afraid to go on vacation and take trips. They're afraid to lose their job. So that's why I say if you have a lot of money and you're not worried about losing a job, you go Jamaica and stuff like that. But most Americans don't get many vacation days. They get like 3 days, 4 days. So more or less, they go to the gym, play sports, drink, heroin.
Not have a long vacation.
Most jobs will give you 2 days, and then you earn it with however long. So if you work there a long time, for every 3 months, they might give you a half a day. So in a year time, you can add maybe 3 days and you'll have 6 total days. If you have a good job, when you go on your interview and you work out your money and your holidays a bit, you can say, I want, 2 weeks vacation after 1 year, so. But most people won't do that unless they're very high qualified. Because if I'm your boss and you say, I need 2 weeks vacation, I just don't hire you. Because the next guy don't care about the vacation.
They rather lose a job.
Yeah, America, there are 350 million people in America. And 5% of them don't work that are looking for work. So 5% of 350 million mean competition. Second, probably third most expensive. Any state that is run by a Democratic governor or mayor or committee is going to be high in crime, high in taxes, low in income, high in rent. Like a room like this in New York, just this room, $3,000 a month. Just to live in a room like this in New York City would cost you $3,000 per month. Maybe more if it's in Midtown. It could be $5,000. That's why people live in New Jersey, which is very expensive where I'm from, and travel to New York by subway. But now, if you live in New Jersey, New York taxes you for New York and New Jersey. And New Jersey taxes you for living in New Jersey and working in New York. So now your taxes are doubled. So other than Hawaii, California, New York, Seattle, Washington, West Coast, very expensive. Very beautiful though. But very high in crime. So you pay a lot of money, high homeless people. You pay $1 billion in taxes to homeless, and you get more homeless than less homeless. Unless somebody big like a president come in from China, then you don't see any homeless anywhere. I don't know where they put them, but if you're lucky enough and your job pays for your insurance, you just pay co-payments. So, or a deductible. A deductible is if I go to the doctor, I have to pay $300 before my insurance will pay the rest. So my deductible for medicine is $50. So if my medication is $100, I gotta pay $50. They will pay the other $50. Sometimes, if it covers it. Sometimes they don't cover. If it's a high risk, they don't cover you, which is weird because if it's a high risk, it's going to happen. That's why they don't cover you, or it's very expensive. But that's if you work for a company. If you have to pay for private insurance, there's a brand called Cobra, like a snake, Cobra snake. Depending on your package, it's anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 per month. So I went 20 years without health insurance because it was free. So I had got very sick and I was prepared to die at home because I'm not going to the hospital. I'd rather die than go to the hospital. My friend came over and said, Jeff, you've been like this for 3 weeks. You got to go to the hospital. I said, no. He said, too bad, I'm taking you. I go to the hospital 4 hours. I lay on a bed. They put IV in, take blood. $15,000.
$50,000.
For 4 hours. The bed cost $5,000 for 4 hours. Just to lay in a single bed, just because I could get an orthopedic for $400. But it kind of worked out because now I'll show you the other end of the insurance. So I got the bill, and I called the number. Can I curse? Can I say a bad word? 1-800 eat shit. I ain't paying this bill. I called them up and I said, I have my own business. My own business is cash, not on the books. So I only have, say I make $18,000 a year. I make more, but I only tell the government because they're going to tax me a lot. So I call up the number. I say, listen, I apologize, but I will never pay you. I can't afford $15,000. They gave me aspirin IV and told me to go home. I had the flu. And they said, oh, that's not good. How much money do you make a year? I said, about $18,000. They said, oh. There are private companies that donate money to the hospital. And if you will help the people that can't afford it. So if you go to a hospital and you're poor, they have grants that will give you 100% health insurance. And I worked for 15 years with a broken neck. My neck was broken. And for 15 years, I go to work. I didn't care. I'm not going to that. So for 15 years, I work out every day. I do everything, sports, baseball, football, drink a lot, run into walls with a broken neck for 15 years. And then I asked the insurance, I said, well, does this cover for things from the past? They say they'll cover anything. So I had neck surgery. The bill for neck surgery, $200,000. I only had to pay $30 because I showed them that I only made a little bit of money and they gave it to me. So in a way, I'm glad my friend took me to the hospital. But if I made more than $18,000 a year, I would have been stuck with $15,000. A bill for $15,000, which is most people do make $18,000 a year. I just lied on my taxes. So insurance, if it's on your job, okay. If you got to pay for it yourself, very, very expensive. If you're poor, there might be help for you. I mean, to the lowest, I lived on the low end because I just love to travel. So I didn't really care about nice house, nice car. But I had an apartment. So my rent was like $800 to $1,000 a month, depending what time of my life. So let's say the lowest, $800 for rent, Your phone is about $100 a month. I had a car, so car insurance is about $150 a month. Gas was about $150 a month. Electric was about $100 a month. Groceries were probably $800 a month. So maybe you spend, for a family. By myself, I was spending, because I was working out a lot, so you got to eat a lot to get big. So I was probably spending, just for me, $75 a week for food. So that's what, 150, that's $300 a month for me. But all I ate was like chicken, high protein stuff. But if you have a family, like my mom, dad, 3 boys, they would easily spend $800-900 a month, to feed 3 boys and the dog and my dad, and they were cheap. Every Friday we ate pasta. University of Florida, Florida State, Nebraska, those are going to run you some good tuition fees.
So that's why American students usually have loans.
Yeah, student loan. My brother's 64. He just paid them off 2 years ago.
Really?
How many
So he graduated when he was 25, and he just paid them off at 62. So it took him about 30 years to pay it off. If you're a doctor, and he's an engineer. If you're a doctor, it takes you graduate. After you graduate, you work for free as an intern. After the intern, you might make $80,000 a year. It'll probably take you 5 years to pay off 10 years to pay off your medical, your loan for your medical school. But medical school, you got to go to school for 8 years. So you got to figure each year is going to run you. You go to a good medical school, Stanford, $70,000 a year.
But how about the interest rate for that?
It's very low. It's usually 2% to 5%.
A year?
No, a month.
Really?
Yeah, like a credit card. So if I have $5,000 on my Visa, I got to pay 17% per month on the $5,000.
That's not cheap.
It's not cheap. After 12 months,
Yeah.
5% of 60. Let's say your student loan is $100,000. 1% of 100,000 is what? Right? Now you're doing 5% per month. But the one thing about student loans is you can tell them how much you make. Sometimes you can pay less, but then it takes you longer to pay, which you're going to pay more in interest rates by the time you pay it off. That's why a lot of companies now are hiring without college degree and experience. Everybody thinks a lot. 80% of kids who go to college do not do what they went to college for. They end up becoming something else. Plumber, electrician, where you didn't have to, all you had to pay was $5,000 for a school to teach you to be a plumber, and you can make $100,000 a year. Being a plumber or an electrician in America, you can make good money doing that. And it's easy. Like you transformer out of the back of your air con in your house, you open a little door, pull out a transformer, put a new one in, $500. Do coloring, that's like $50-60. So everybody loves Trump. He's so honest, it's incredible. He just looked at a reporter yesterday. A reporter asked him, what about notice? He goes, what the hell is notice? He told the journalist, don't ever ask me a question again. He tells you right how it is. He's so open, it's incredible. He has to tell you. He's like a narcissist. about Trump. You know, he loves it. He has to tell you because he can't hold it in. Even if it's bad, he'll tell you. So that, but he's not really a politician. He's more of an actor and a famous person. Economic getting better, but Trump already. Food is down, gas is down, electric is down, inflation is down. Give him another year because of the tariffs. He started tariffs, but now he's making a lot of deals. Tariffs will come down. Your pricing will be a little bit cheaper. He's only been in office for 4 months, 5 months, and look what he's done already. He's already brought in $2 trillion worth of business.
But he hates non-native Americans.
No, he loves legal people coming in the right way, not hopping the fence, not being brought in by the cartel, not people being released from their prisons and coming in. Do it the right way and have something you can give to America. We don't want a loser. We want people that are going to help our economy, not people that are going to commit crimes and hurt people. Do it the right way. I'm doing it with my wife right now. Cost me the lawyer here cost me $2,000 for the lawyer, and then all the paperwork to get her green card is going to take 18 months. In America, it's about another $2,000 in fees for America. So in about 18 months, she'll have a green card, and it will cost about $4,000 after you get your medical and everything, and then she'll be legal there and here. So we want you to come in the right way. We want to check your criminal background. We want to make sure you're not a terrorist or a gang member. You're in America. We want engineers, farmers, doctors. We want people that are going to help us, not people bring us down like a weight. That's what he loves, everybody, except if you're an illegal alien and you're doing harm to our society. Then he don't care about you. They'll send you to El Salvador. Did you see that prison in El Salvador? Google, YouTube it. El Salvador max prison. El Salvador was the #1 country in crime in the world. New president came in, made these prisons. It is now the safest country in the world. And look how these people live in these prisons. These are all gang members. All tattoos, MS-13, all these are now YouTube. It's crazy how they live. Nobody wants to go there. President Biden said there is nothing I can do with immigration. 20 million people came in 4 years under Biden. I can't do anything. Only Congress can. In 3 months, 7 people got into America. 7. And Donald Trump said, how'd these 7 get in? Under Biden, 20 million. Under President Trump, in 3 months, 7. And he said, I thought you couldn't do anything. 7 people. And he complaining. How'd they get in? He let 2 of them stay. Right now, he's paying you to leave the country. It costs $17,000 for the government to catch you and put you back in your country. So what he's doing now is giving you $1,000, paying for your flight back to your country, and allowing you to have a chance to do it the right way. So everybody's going in, give me the money. They did their first plane yesterday. Had 100 people on it. So it's going to cost a plane ticket and $1,000. What is that? Max $3,000. He just saved $14,000 per tax person, per taxes, because it comes out of our taxes. So he's smart. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. That's why they hate him. That's why they tried to kill him twice.
That's true.
Because he's not like them. He's for America. Democrats and other politicians are for themselves. Nancy Pelosi, you know who that is? She makes $175,000 a year, but she's worth $40 million. Her husband is the best stock man in the world. The biggest stock companies, they're like, how does this guy? Because insider trading, she knows when the stock, well, we're going to do this, so then he buys a lot of stock, and then he takes it out. 40 million. So a lot of people, what they do is they follow his stocks, because it's public. And when he buys stock, people buy stock. When he sells stock, people sell their stock.